All right, this is a real quick breakdown on what we are going to try to do in the next 10 or 12 days. It looks like a pretty daunting list, but hopefully some of this stuff is just using the code that we used last time, especially for the puppeteered form. The only big thing is the sonic arms, which you've already got started. All randomly projected particles. Again, all these are bolted, and you've already kind of got this started already with your projection mapping that you've done here. This is looking really good. This is basically the idea. All these forms are going to be bolted to the stand. They're not going to be moving, but each one of them is going to have a Vive tracker attached to it. So when you have the VR headset on, when you reach out to touch these, they'll actually be right there. And the thing is, right now you have them just all kind of randomly spewing particles through each one. And I wouldn't copy and paste them all, but have them, pulsate at different ranges and so forth, so it's not all the same. And this is just an overall scene. This will just be happening before the interactions. All right, so that's number one. I think you've already accomplished that with the video that you have here. Pretty good, especially what you have right here. And one of the things that you could do is maybe vary it a little bit of the color. Maybe they're not all the same color, but again, this is 10 or 12 days. That's like on the bottom of the list. So we have the participant, and this is the person highlighted, will have a VR headset. They'll be walking around. And really quickly, I wanted to show you what it's looking like. So this is Allison holding this, and right now it's just kind of bracketed really quickly, and she's actually holding the boom. This will actually has a speaker in it already. Also, there's going to be a two tubes, one for speaker and one for smell. So there'll actually be a smell coming out of here. So that is what we're going to see in this in just a second. Also, this is how the boom arms moving up and down. So they won't all be pointing upward or downward. They're all kind of randomly coming off of this pedestal. So they kind of looks a little bit more organic, kind of like a flower petal. Some will be up, and some will be down. So it will have a randomness to this. Again, this will be all fixed with the Vive tracker. It'll know where it's sitting in space, so that's something that you don't have to worry about. Let's go back to the document. So the VR participant will have a Vive tracker on their arm. So as they get closer to one of these sonic booms, this is where we're going to get excited about particles going out a little bit more higher rate. So here is two of them right here. When the participant gets closer to that main tube, that would be, I'll go ahead and get rid of this. So as a participant gets closer to that main tube, that this would be flowing at a higher rate. And so I think this is where you spend all your energy, is when they get into that main nozzle. It'll just go out maybe a little bit different hue color, so you can tell it's changing as you get closer in a higher volume. And also, this is where Tom jets in, where you can maybe have an overlay of sound, so it's visual and a sound. All right, the second one are the nozzles. The nozzles are not in this picture, but they are going to be added. So we're going to make 48 of these, and they will sit right here. So as the participant's hand gets closer to this area, again, a higher rate of particles going directly down, changing a shift color maybe with them, and also Tom will have an overall sound like, I don't know, a jet engine or whatever sound to trigger that. And that should probably all happen with an Unreal. All right, and the last part of the sonic arms. Again, this is kind of where I want you to put all your energy, is the sonic arms. And so, like I said, there will be a moment where the person at the PC tower can hit a keystroke, and like a number 5 or 4, and then there'll be a gas or a smell scent that will run through basically a huge balloon and then go out at that nozzle area and then be propelled out of here. So that should be a huge volume of particles coming out of just the boom, because that's where the scent is coming out of, and totally change radically the color scheme. Not too off, but noticeable maybe to more of a lighter tone instead of these darker tones that we have. So that's the big thing. It's a 1, 2, 3 interaction. The first one is just getting closer to this main nozzle, getting closer to the secondary nozzles, changing in volume of particles. And then the last one is a numeric keyboard hit. Nothing to do with the Vibe tracker, but the person at the PC tower will be watching, and then when they release this balloon and all the smell goes out, this will release a whole other set of particles, a different color maybe, and then also those particles maybe behave differently, because I think you have a great particle change here. See, they're kind of going out, and then there's a whole other different particle effect. So maybe it's a different gravity field, or maybe they disperse in a different way. All right, I know this is a long and rambling video, but let's go on to the next one. So that's, if you can spend most of your time and we can solve the sonic arms, that'd be great. The Maxi Form, this is basically rinse and repeat the same code that we've done on the other forms on last year. So just, it's the same thing, just copy the code, change hue shift, and this will be on the Pogo pen thing. We're not going to get into the board that we made or any bare paint or anything. We're just going to easy peasy because we don't have time. Lighting pulses, this could be something different. I want it to be really apparent when you touch it. Lighting pulses when you touch the form. And we'll figure it out what that means. But anyway, it could be a light parented to the form, and then it's like either a strobe light or just a pulse that gets slower and slower and slower, really bright, very apparent. The third one is particle system coming off the bottom, and I'll show you what I meant. Maybe just these forms right here. It could be object-oriented particle systems just coming off of this, not the center part, but maybe the ribbing. And then number 4 is the top of this form. So when the participant, again, nothing that you have the program, but so when the person touches the top inner form, that particles would come off this object, not the rib, but the top form. So that could be a particle system, and you know, use your judgment on how to do that, or it could just be particles coming off of these nails. That would be cool too. Maybe let's just do the latter, those nails. All right, swirling pods. We have someone working on those, so we'll have a small, medium, and large. And you said you could possibly use Houdini to bake the animation cycle, and this could be a huge loop cycle, and make it not noticeable, the endpoints of the loop, so it's not jarring, but it could be a 5-minute loop, or however is the easiest. And one more thing, the floor, we're going to just use Substance Designer just to put some sort of flooring, and then it'll dissipate when it goes off in the distance, maybe into an alpha so you can't see it, or black. And also try to light the scene to the reference photo, and I'm going to show that really quickly. Right here, this is, I'll send you this link also. This is the overall concept design, this color right here. This is our color wheel, and you can get some ideas over here to the left too, these color schemes. All right, hopefully this is helpful. I'll send you all the links and also this Word document. Good luck.